It's easy.
We're done.
The other day you said the tight ends were catching about 80%, maybe even 95%. How have they progressed over the past couple of days?
They're getting up to 95%. CJ had a really good day today. Greg did too. Justin, they started really concentrating. That's what it comes down to. End of camp, tired, you know. So they really came out the last, probably today for sure. They were spectacular. So it was good. I was excited.
Did you get what you wanted out of camp, and what do you still need to do?
Yeah, actually got more. Got more in terms of the capacity of the install. These guys have done a great job of, as I talked about, they got to be a sponge. We're really smart up front. I think those guys really know what to do, and they understand it. We can make adjustments. Coach Slaughterman's done a great job, so we've actually got a little bit more in. So I'm excited. The receivers have bought into what we're doing, and running backs, and as long as your quarterback's progressing and there's not too much conceptually, then you can move on like that. So I like where our bank is right now for that.
When you went back and looked at the scrimmage film, what did you see from the first team offense that maybe was lacking a little bit? You talked about not being pleased.
We didn't throw and catch on third down. Bottom line. I mean, you look at the first one, we had competitive catches that we made. Identical plays, identical throws. We made them the first one, did in the second. That's where it comes down to that consistency part, you know. When you're open, you got to hit them, and when you're getting covered, you got to make them. That's where we've got to be. That's where we've really stressed this camp. Making the competitive catches, the competitive throws, getting the ball down. We had a couple opportunities, the ball was high, you know, so it was just inconsistent.
You were really excited yesterday when Vinny got hit and that by the linebacker and he held onto the ball. Is that something that he does a lot, or what was it about that play?
Well, it wasn't that. It was about the reaction after he got hit. You know, sometimes kids get hit. It's football, you know, and we're going to protect our players and all that, and sometimes in the heat of the moment that happens, and 2 weeks ago, Benny would have reacted differently. Here he got up like a grown man, jogged, did his deal, came back to the huddle. That's how you're supposed to act. And so that's what I was excited about. He can't put the ball on the ground. We don't talk about that. So he's going to do that. So that's what I was excited about his actions.
Have you narrowed down which true freshman you think might play?
No, that's what will happen now. Camp's over. In the next 48 hours to really find out what's going on, where we're going, what personnel we're going to use in the first game, and find out with our special teams coordinator and Coach Stoops, find out where we're going to be with that. So that'll happen in the next 2 days.
Are you guys do you like to do a scripted amount of plays to start a game? Do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have like a set number or a set series?
No, it just kind of, but we're going to have enough to give them something to look at and change things up and so forth. So yeah, we've always done that.
Do you do that both halves?
Huh?
Both halves? Do you do that both halves? Script them?
I've got second half ideas. Absolutely. I mean, they're there. The first thing that we talk about after we get things fixed, then we talk about those second half ideas, and then Darren and I will script the first 2 series to get, hey, how can we get our quarterback going? What in the run game, Coach Norman? You know, as we've looked at everything on the play sheet, what's been successful, and then we'll script probably two series.
Do you let the quarterback have any input on stuff that you feel? I mean, will Drew be able to say, "I really like this play; it works for me"?
Yeah, we'll talk before the week's up and say, "Hey, what do you love?" You know, a lot of times I'll text him on a Thursday night and say, "Give me your top 10." You know, and then that way, you know, I know when Crud's hitting the fan, I know what he feels comfortable with.
Is there anything that you love that's sort of like bread and butter for you personally that Drew doesn't love right now?
No, I don't think so. I just like first downs. First downs and touchdowns. You know, take care of the ball. We've really stressed that. You know, the one thing that in this league that I know is that you got to be balanced. We got to be able to run the ball. You got to be first down efficient. And we've got to stay on the field for our defense. And what we can't do is we've got to be able to either kick a field, you know, every possession ends with a kick. That's what we was talking about. Kick a PAT, kick a field goal, or punt. Keep our defense in it. Keep our special teams in it. We can't go out and lose it. And you do that by turnovers. So we have to take care of the ball.
How few or many have you had of those in camp so far? Just on
the fewer side. Much better than the spring. So much better. And so I'm excited about that.
Johnson said he really wasn't comfortable with the offense after the spring, that he sort of felt like he was a little bit lost. Have you seen him sort of come on in the fall and play differently?
Night and day. Night and day from the spring. playing faster, making plays, exactly what we needed. When we left the spring, we said that he was one of the guys that we needed to have come on this summer. And he worked his tail off. I remember on Saturdays, he'd be in the indoor facility, he was working extra, and so he earned what he's getting right now.
Have you got an idea how you're going to use Steven, or if you're going to use him in packages in games, or is that all still?
It's still up in the air.
Are you going to do anything differently with Boone now that game prep is starting, just to ramp him up for that first game?
No, we'll keep going, repping. I really want to try to get guys in game shape now, where they're going plays in a row, where they can learn to control their breathing and get themselves ready to go. We got a lot of depth there, so if somebody gets tired, I'm really confident that we've got some running backs that can step up and go if we can't handle it, early, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure it was supposed to happen, but Benny took a big shot yesterday in the part of practice we were watching, but he bounced right back up. Benny Snell, how tough of a guy is he?
I love him right now, you know what I mean? For a freshman, and some of the hits, and he's shown that he can have yards after contact. He's really far ahead for a true freshman.
How much of your preparation is geared specifically toward Southern Miss at this point?
Already been in it. I've been watching tons of film already, and we've been ahead. Coach has allowed us with some great meeting time. The other day, we already been walking through, doing what we need to do for them, getting a start and a nice introduction. So we're I think ahead, that way, which you should. It's your first
Do you
game.
feel any extra pressure in getting off to a good start?
You know what? It doesn't matter who we're playing or what game it is. It's about winning. And you can't win them all unless you win the first one. And we want to win this first one. We want to get started off on the right foot. We're at home, and that's important. You want to get a win at home, and so pressure is what you do yourself. We got to go, coach. Get them ready to go, and hopefully they'll be prepared. And you'll see that.
Do you ever practice with wet ball in case of inclement weather?
Yes, absolutely.
Eddie, you never have too much depth. Do you have a little more depth than maybe you thought you'd have when you started out this spring?
Yes, I think a little bit more. We got a decent 2 deep on the O-line. We've moved. John's done a nice job of moving guys around. If you get an emergency situation, so we put some guys at center, some guys at tackle, and we've been able to do that at camp, which you have to do. And then, I think the receivers and running back corps have really just pushed each other. I mean, now if somebody's not getting it done or they're not doing it the right way and they're not doing it our way, we can pull them. We can say, hey, you know what? If you don't want to do it this way, then we'll let another guy step up. And that's
Talk
a
about
good
the
thing.
job that you've done as far as changing attitudes, everything with the, with your skill position people in particular.
I don't know. I don't think it's me. I think it's everybody collectively with Coach Stoops and the culture. And he said it's time. It's time to grow up. It's time to finish. It's time to, he's had a buttload of not, and you got to be accountable. And we've held him accountable. I think we're going right from the head football coach.
Eddie, when you got it, you said you were excited about the level of talent and the tools you would have for this offense. This deep into camp, about the break camp, how do you feel about that now?
I feel really good. I think we do have tools. The name of the game will be us being consistent. We can't go 2 quarters, sky high, and then the next 2 quarters we don't get a first down. You can't do that. And we got to, you got to be, your mindset got to be different. We got to be strong, and that's what this camp was about. It was us getting mentally strong. We have pushed them. Coach has almost doubled the impact on these guys from the last couple of years. So that's what he was talking about with capacity. That has to now, on Saturday when we play Southern Miss and we continue the season, when crud hits the, what am I looking for? When crud hits the fan, okay, that we don't panic, that we move on. And I always talk about recovering, and we talk about short-term memories. That's what I've seen. We've been able to do that. Can we now do it when we create habits and those habits come to the top when pressure comes? Hopefully we've created enough habits now that we don't worry about it.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Thanks.